Greetings, my people. It is Friday, October 21st, and I thought, let's go out for a little 120 ped unamped mining run together. So that's what we're going to do. We're here on Arcadia like normal, and we're going to triple click, because y'all know me. I like to mine for all three types. That's why I love this planet. It is the real planet dedicated to mining, in my opinion. The creatures aren't as aggressive as Calypso, there's not as many of them. And we have treasure mining, which is fantastic, and in my mind, extremely underrated. I mean, yeah, there's not a huge amount of markup on it, but it's everything else that comes with it too. Like, basically, it's a ped and a half that I'm dropping down instead of a ped, so it increases my cycle rate a little bit, more ped cycled per hour, more chances of globals, returns, blah, blah, blah. But there's also the unknown chance of a treasure, which I kind of enjoy. Finding like a mining strongbox or a vase and whatnot out of the blue. It's kind of exciting. To me, that's why I like it. It adds a little bit extra. Granted, it doubles the cost of doing my mining runs, but there's been a couple times where it turns out that mining for treasure has been what saved my ass on that run. So let's see if that's the case today. Get ourselves a little volume here. Got ourselves a poor Ordorium off the bat. That's about 2 peds. So, I don't know. A little bit more than 1% of what we needed. That ain't great. It's probably like 1.2%, something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Let's go out and find some resources. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. I hope everything's going well for you and your life is doing phenomenal. Mine wasn't too terrible today. I actually kind of somewhat did something stupid yesterday and re-angered a back injury at work, trying to mess with a pallet coming off a truck, and I didn't notice at the time that I had hurt myself again until I woke up and I was like, oh man, that's a spicy meatball right there in the lower spine. So went to work for a little bit this morning, kind of dealt with it, and made some decisions like I wasn't going to bend over and pick up things off the floor today. That wasn't going to happen. So, and then I went to the plasma center and donated plasma. Got some peds for that. That's always nice. They're paying pretty good if I can go 8 times this month. But that's not fun, y'all. Like it friggin' jabs into my blood vein on the inside of my arm right there, and I guess it's like the biggest needle that they use for like anything. I don't know if it's like the biggest needle overall in the world or whatever, but like medical or whatever procedure wise, like yeah, that's it right there. That's the thickest thing that gets jammed in your blood vein there. We had ourselves a pore growth molecules and a pore bandite, so probably about 5 ped overall, if I'm lucky, off both of these. Maybe just under. Yeah, it's under. Not too far though. And that's how my day went. The plasma center's not the most terrible experience in the world. At least they pay pretty good, you know? Going in there for about an hour to 3, depending on how long it takes to get through everything and how many people are there. I can make about as much money, a little bit more than I make at a full shift at my job, so it helps. Balances out the old budget a little bit. And some of the peds that I'm making from that actually have been set aside for the bounty board for Khorum Coast this month, so that I have extra money to deposit in case people start hitting some nice bounties at Khorum. So that part's exciting because we changed things up a little bit with our bounties. And now instead of like every item you drop, you get like 10 ped if no one's looted it that month. I picked 6 items for the whole month that have different bounty value. 2 of them are 500 peds each, 2 of them are 300 peds each, and 2 of them are 200 peds each, for a total of 2,000 peds. So you come out to Khorum Coast and you loot any of those 6 items, you automatically get extra bonus peds once you prove it with a screenshot and post it to the Discord or the forum. So that's something I'm kind of trying to do, you know? Make things a little more entertaining for y'all. Give you some excitement, because then that way, let's say you come out and you hunt for a bit, and it's kind of like getting a silent Hall of Fame, you know, if you loot a generic item. Because maybe Mindark's not really paying out for you, but they somehow drop like the Noosal tail for you, for instance. Well, bam, there you go. Noosal tail's worth like 500 peds this month. So just things like that. Trying to make it, you know, a little more exciting. Give y'all a reason to come hang out at the coast. I love this land, and I want y'all to love it too. Well, I guess I can't say this land. I'm not on Khorum Coast right now. I'm actually just mining randomly in Arcadia. I had spawned at the robot factory for some reason. I think I was like down here by chemical factory this morning. And it just, yeah. Spawned me up here. And we'll have to summon this claim real fast because I'm not going up that hill to get it. Y'all see where it is? I ain't doing that. Uncle Joker ain't feeling that shit today. There you go. Spawn that sucker. I don't think that one was very good either. I think that one was like a 4 too. Yeah, it was 4. Like two peds-ish. Yeah. But yep, definitely excited about the Khorum Coast bounty board. And then the cool thing is that if you go out to loot the most on Wednesday nights, you can actually claim double your prize of your bounty if you loot it during loot the most. So instead of like 500 ped for a Noosal tail, for instance, you'll get a cold 1,000 peds from Uncle Joker. Just straight up. I think that's pretty cool. Just nice, cold hard cash right into your account. No one can complain about that, right? Sometimes I do wish this game had like other kind of cool things that I could reward players with other than like peds. I mean, everyone loves ped, don't get me wrong, but still that kind of gets a little stale, right? I want like some cool real life goods to award y'all to show my appreciation for coming out to my land area. Like I'd love to mail y'all some Khorum Coast t-shirts. But I'm still kind of waiting to hear if that is allowed or not. Because yeah, you can obviously tell I've got, you know, creatures from Arcadia on it and everything else, which I may or may not actually truly own. Who knows? Mindark's fuzzy about that, and they won't talk to me. They said I can use whatever I want in relation to my land to market and promote the game, but then who knows, right? Because to me that sounds like, all right, Joker, you do whatever you can to help us get some more money in our wallet too. All right, gotcha. You know, I can do that, but I don't know if that's what they actually meant. So I'm kind of iffy about mailing y'all out some Khorum Coast t-shirts until I hear for sure that I can. But that would be pretty cool. Wow, we're getting some no resources found. This isn't that good. It's kind of a buzzkill. We'll just keep swimming, I guess, right? That's what we do here. Small bandite and a tiny Alicines liquid. Alicines? I don't know how to. Yeah, that's another one of those ones, y'all, that I don't freaking know. Zadul, young dude, I don't. You're done. Appreciate you coming and saying hello. Small bandite, we're looking at probably about 3 peds, 3.5 if I'm lucky. 1.28, 1.04. Yeah, not quite 3.5. So we've spent 30 peds so far. Do a quick rough check of what we got. Yeah. Alright, so we're about 20 ped return. We're batting 66% or so. It's not great, but I've had worse. I have had worse. So we'll continue on, y'all. I am kind of thinking that if I sell my stuff this week, Oakley is not on, that if I sell a lot of my resources that I don't need or use, that I'll scrounge up what I have and maybe see if I can afford a trip to FOMA. Go up there and mine for a bit. Sounds really nice. That's like my favorite place to mine in the game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love mining Khorum Coast. I love mining Khorum Coast. But like FOMA just makes me feel like I was a kid again, you know? Used to mine that place like 15 something years ago when I first started playing this game. More than that. Dear God, 17, 18 years ago? Oh, I don't know, y'all. Way before I was in college even. I was still in high school when I first learned about this game. And I'm like staring 40 in the face almost. I'm like fucking 35 now. So, yeah, Entropia has been a big part of my life for a while. But anyway, being a young teenager or whatnot, I spent some time up there on what was then known as Club Never Die, owned by John Never Die Jacobs, who now owns Planet Arkadia. And back then it was really fun. It was the only spot in the game that had indoor high-risk mining. It was very popular. He would come on during the day and do like shout-outs and competitions, and he would like live stream music and stuff for us into his dome and would do requests, and man, it was just such a really cool active place. And it made an imprint in my mind that I just kind of can't get over. I guess so many years ago that I think of what Entropia could be as a real social kind of thing, like getting together and hanging out and having a fun little friendly competition every week or whatever, and Club Never Die and our music and shout outs and stuff. It made it feel like a little community. You'd see your other friendly miners and whatnot up there and doing their thing, and you'd, hey, grats on your drill tower or whatever I saw kind of thing, and it was fun. We had our little area, and it kind of died off. I miss it. I'll tell y'all right now that before I invested in buying Khorum Coast, I attempted to try to track down John Foma Calhoun, the guy that owns what is now known as Forma Fortuna, which was Club Never Die, because he hasn't been in the game in freaking so many years, I guess. People think maybe he has passed away, something may have happened to him, so I tried to track him down and message him or his family and look him up on the internet. And the only person I could contact that was related to him that finally responded wasn't very friendly. So I don't know the status. But I thought what I would do is I just wanted to see Club Never Die or FOMA or whatever you want to call it or know it as live again. And I wanted a place to express myself inside Entropia. I wanted to be able to come in and host events for him, and shout outs to miners, pick some music, kind of bring the place back to life to what it was before. But that didn't work out. Didn't hear anything. And I started, realizing I had cash in the bank account, I guess, that I could spend on stuff. And then Khorum Coast came for sale, and I could afford a land area in the game, and I was looking at my bank account, and excuse me, I apologize. What he had first asked for Khorum, I couldn't afford. It was a couple thousand over my budget. Because I think he was originally asking like 22,000, 23,000 peds. And I didn't have that much. But I talked to him for a while. I think it was Duncan Paradox was his name that owned it. Yeah, talked to Duncan Paradox for a bit, and discuss things. And I don't know if there was a lot of interest or not in buying the land, but Anyway, I got it for a price that I could actually afford. It took everything I own. I sent 180,000 peds or 18,000 US dollars, I guess, into this game to buy it. That was kind of nerve-wracking. Let me tell y'all, when you go down to the bank and you send everything that you've worked for the last 10 to 12 years of your life and saved and scrimped away, when you send that off and you're like, goodbye, see you in Switzerland, you're no longer in my account, and you do it for a piece of virtual property, for this sucker right here. It's actually this. You do it for this thing. You wonder about it, if it was the right choice or not, you know? But I kind of see it as this, y'all. I uh, I wouldn't have been able to start a business on my own sense for something that I truly loved and believed in for that price. If you think about it, like if I truly loved to cook, and I wanted to make hamburgers or whatever for a living, and I wanted to open up my own hamburger diner, think of how much it would cost to open that. I'd have to rent the building, I'd have all that equipment that I'd have to bring in. I'd have the cost overhead of materials every month for meat products. I'd have bread that goes bad, blah, 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 shit like that. Everything starting to compound on the cost of owning that business, even though there was an initial cost of starting up. But it's way above my head because I work retail for a living. I can't afford to own my own business when I scrape by every month. I might make a little bit extra, but it's not a lot to go bragging home to, let me tell you. So to save up for a while and manage to start a business with a little bit of an investment like that was really kind of life-changing for me. I hope it turns out well. I mean, only time will know for sure, but two smalls, a small Banite and a small Vitacore. That's kind of the story of Khorum Coast so far. I'd loved this game and I wanted to be part of it for so long that I saw an opportunity and I saw that, oh, sorry, that I could finally afford it, and I went for it. Who knows? Down the road, it may have been the wrong thing to do because soon after I freaking bought Khorum Coast, we ended up in like a recession and Russia's being an asshole to Ukraine, whatever they're doing over there. Like now everyone's kind of worried about World War III and food prices and oil and gas is outrageous. So definitely probably not a great time to feel confident in investing your entire life savings into something intangible. But I'm hanging in there. I love it. I like what I do now. I look forward all day working at Walmart to come on here and engage with my audience a little bit, see who comes out to Khorum Coast and hangs out, or to make mining videos for y'all and promote the land and the game. I like it. Kind of feels like I'm doing something for myself for the first time in my life instead of always working for someone else, you know? Yeah. One of these days, maybe I'll pay Khorum Coast off, and then it will slowly be a little bit of a monthly income for me and my family. That's kind of my goal. Like if I kick the bucket or something happens, I'm hoping it ends up worth, a little bit for my wife, that she won't struggle as hard down the road. Kind of my goal there. Very poor quill sap. And a poor Vitacore fiber. Well, this is not a good run so far, but I guess we're used to that, eh? I did global this morning. I had like a 74 pet, I think it was. Songtul agent before I went to work for the little bit of time that was there. So, you know, you can't beat that, I guess. I did already global today. Yeah. And my goal is to finish up this mining video right here, maybe get it edited and push it out for y'all tonight. Get another episode of What is Entropia ready for release, push that out, and just keep kind of growing, you know, making sure everyone knows how great this game is. Because I love what I did, and I own a piece of land. And I think if more people knew about what I did and how it's different, I think more people would want to be in here and they'd want to do what I do. Like, I love Entropia for a long time in my life, and I managed to make a business inside Entropia. It might not be, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire from it. It's going to take me a long time just to pay off the initial investment. But I started a business, y'all. You can't do that on like fucking Fortnite. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to buy part of this map now on Fortnite and I'm going to try to make money. No. Yeah, you could, do videos like I'm doing here and hope people pay attention, but you don't actually own a chunk of Fortnite. There's nothing that you tangibly own yourself that you can grow and promote and use as a business. And I think that really sets Entropia apart. And for me, that's why I did the right decision. It's a once in a lifetime thing that you can do that other games just aren't there yet. Because this is kind of like the future of games in a sense, if you think about it. Like self ownership inside the game that you love is an amazing concept. And I wouldn't doubt that it goes farther. There's going to be other things that use it down the road. For sure. Man, it's not like I can boot up my Nintendo Switch and feel like I'm invested in Mario or I own my own little chunk of Nintendo, you know? It's really unique what they have here. Mine and Run has been shit though. Like, ouch. We're setting almost a new record this month for no resources found. But can't all be winners. And I just kind of wanted to relax for a bit and engage with you all and play the game anyway. Sometimes it's not all about winning the ped and making sure that you get however much you need back out of the ground. Sometimes you just want to play Entropia and pretend you're dead. Or not dead, but as close as you can be to not being currently alive. You know? You just want to sit there and zone out and play for a bit while life's worries and troubles just go away. That's why I like this game too. It's pretty slow and I guess kind of grindy. And to some people that makes it seem like, oh man, that game is boring and there's not a lot of depth to it. But to me, I like the appeal to it. I like that it's a little slower, more relaxed. One second, y'all. Let me give a quick link to a society mate at the Khorum Coast bounty board. There he goes. And now he'll see that we switched it up a bit and that we're paying him more peds for certain items. Maybe he'll loot one. That will be exciting. Hope his loot's a lot better than mine, cause shit. Mindark is not looting for me tonight. But there's also 13 drops to go, so you don't know till the end. It could turn around at any time, y'all. This could be when I finally get my tower. After all these no resources, they're like, oh shit. Give him something. And then, like, somehow that multiplier rolls up into being a drill tower. And they're like, oh man. Didn't know we were going to give him his tower finally. A modest corudrol and a poor listerium. So about 7 heads. Close to about 6% of what I needed on that drop to break even. What is it, like 2 o'clock barely? Dang. Maybe after this I'll find something else to do for the evening, because it doesn't look like mining's paying off. So I'll probably just work on editing videos, push this out, and if I have some free time, maybe I'll play the Xbox. Haven't actually booted up that thing and enjoyed it in quite a while. That would be fun. Thought about trying to figure out how to stream some Xbox gameplay onto my YouTube channel, even though, it's typically only Entropia on here. But it wouldn't hurt for me to have some other kind of crap, I guess, you know? We'll murder some things together. Like, oh wow. They got a double global there, good for them. But, we could play some Borderlands 3, which I really need to try. I bought that sucker, and I have, like, the Game of the Year edition with all the expansions and bells and whistles or whatever they currently had. And then I booted it up for about a week, maybe. Played it a couple times off and on. And then I got back into this game. And that's about how that went, you know? Ugh. Entropia will suck your life away. As much as I wish everyone in the world played this game, be prepared for why you shouldn't play this game. Because it's like any other MMO, it's addicting. Quintaflux small and a Porodorium. So we're looking probably about 5 peds. 6 if I'm lucky. But yeah, this game is good. It's got that unpredictability that you just can't get anywhere else. I mean, you don't know. I've played it for, like, what did I say earlier? Like 15 fucking years, since like 2005, 2006 I've been on this game. Maybe even like 2004 for my first avatar that I had to sell. But old Pot Anus here has been around since 2006. So you think about that. A long time. And I haven't hit one. Like, I haven't hit that amazing loot yet. But it could happen tonight. And that's what makes you kind of want to keep playing, you know? It could be any time. My big payback. God damn, I sound like a gambler when I say that, but this game's not gambling. It's truly not. I'll get overall 90-ish% of what I put back in cycle, in the long period. It's just a matter of when and how. And granted, you add markup onto that to keep you going. And then that certain markup, let's say I managed to make more peds than I spent on that run. And then I cycle that, and then that kind of adds to my cycling, and everything. I don't know what they do to the side, but I imagine it's all calculated somehow, and it takes a little bit here and there off everything you do. Like, oh, he spent 120 peds mining. All right, we'll make sure we grab two or three peds of that, and we'll stick it to the side in his like global or Hall of Fame bank that he can trigger kind of thing with certain avatar actions or just randomly, and that's when he'll pay him out. And then you wonder like, all right, how many two or three ped things here and there, how many times that takes before you get your tower. Do they actually reserve that for you to the side? Then you loot one after all these years? Because that's fun. I don't expect to hit it quick. What would be the point? What would be the point of walking out and hitting a goddamn drill tower on my first day of playing this game? It would mean nothing. The fact that it's been a never-ending quest for me, kind of like Red, Red D. If y'all watch Red D on YouTube, also, he is another avatar on a never-ending quest for his drill tower. I feel for him. Every time I watch him, I'm like, dude, yep, running an amp, trying some FOMA stuff, doing different things here. It just won't hit for us. But one of these days, we'll get it, and that will make it way better than if I got it easier. Sorry, talking to a society mate for a second. Poor Listerium. And we got ourselves a very poor Boron pellets. So maybe about 3 or 4 ped with that, if I'm lucky, all together. And my cat thinks it needs attention. Medea, up here and say hi. You want attention, at least say hi to everybody. Let them see the cat that has no tail, because you're fucked up. How do you not have a tail, Nadia? Fucking weird. But I love you. Yes. Yes, you're great. Everyone thinks you're amazing. Thank you. What do we got? 5 more drops. Got those claims drilled. Let's hit it up. Pour a Banite stone, so about 2 ped there. Or, yep, right on the dot of 2 ped. Awesome. Three more drops now. Small Banite, and we got a modest bismuth. Ooh, nice. I do like looting me some bismuth, y'all. That's gonna help a little bit for our ped return. Because that's close to like 300%, And let's say we got 5 to 6 ped of that. That could be 15 to 18 ped back when I sell it. So that's not bad. What do we get? 4 ped of bismuth, so let's say 12 ped. 10%. 10% of our mining run right there was just on that bismuth claim. With markup, by the way. Not TT wise, but with markup. So that's cool. Very poor quill sap. Probably about a ped and a half there. But I'd say overall TT wise, this is not a good run. I would be surprised if we come back with 90 peds on our 120. I predict about 35 ped loss. I'm thinking we're going to come back with about 84 or 85 peds. That's what I'm predicting, y'all. Which will suck. But hey, c'est la vie. You know? That's life here on Entropia. If I won every time I came out here, I wouldn't have played this game for a majority of my damn life. I would have got bored. But the fact that I don't win all the time and it could be anything today keeps you excited, wanting to click. Because every other game I've played, you know, once you figure it out, the algorithm or what you can do to cheat the game or win, so to speak, all the time, not necessarily cheat, but just how the game works. You know, you get kind of bored of it. You're like, yeah, well, whatever. Been there, done that. I have not been there, done that on this game in fucking like 15 years. 17? Whatever years that we talked about earlier. I haven't been there and done all that yet. So that's exciting. Last drop. I guess we'll let this Hallex kill us. Probably need more than that though. He ain't gonna take us out in time. Let's get another couple of y'all up in here. Ooh, a provider. Yeah, we'll add that into the batch. And we'll sweat him with these. And that should kill me relatively quick. And instead of pressing T, we'll kind of sweat for a minute. And then calculate our losses. Hopefully they kill me quicker than it would have taken for... Yeah, they will. Oh yeah. Finish me off. Why, thank you. Hey, check it out. We got a little bit of evade and sweat gatherer for doing that. Tiny bit of skill. And let's see what our return was. Like I said, I'm thinking about 85 ped, y'all. That's my prediction. Yeah, that's not looking great. Oh! Well, there's also that. I was a little higher than I thought. 106 out of 120. So we lost 14 peds, and if you think of that bismuth and whatnot, we're not too terrible. I'll take it. Cool. And that just goes to show sometimes you don't actually know what you've looted. Damn. If I'd have hit like an ample or whatever, I'd have broke even. Oh well. Thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps grow my channel. But by all means, come out to the Khorum Coast, where you can earn the most. Y'all have a great night.